I believe I will be starting 5.2. Not sure. We're really not sure. Because the lines of where they end and begin, I tend to get mixed up. But I guess if they say, oh, we haven't seen you for a while, that should be a good indicator that we've started 5.2. So hello there, Cryo. Looks like I'm heading back to the first. I could have used the Aethernet shard. Hello, sir. I'm getting the feeling that he loves the word opportune. Because I feel like every time we talk to him, he says the word opportune.
Now that we are all here,
oh, his voice.
News from the source. A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
Yeah, that thing I fought.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but it looks like his, like, crystal part, like, the crystal part of the crystal X-Art is just, like, a layer that they put over him, not, like, actually on his skin. There seems to be some pixels between that. I just find that interesting.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both, that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within Aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
Blood magic, oh boy.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found.
Was this the last quest of 5.1 and I didn't do it? This kind of sounds like it, like right here.
Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
Why else would Lino be coming here?
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Wait, is it Lena or Lina now? I am so confused. This whole time I thought it was Lina. Salmon fillet, huh? I am so confused. Also, recently I learned that there's how to get to actual first-person mode. So yeah. How often are you gonna talk about Mimbrita during this, sir? I think she's been dead for some time. You are the person who keeps coming out of the Aether on a couple occasions. So who are you to complain? That's hard to turn in first person mode, it's... So I won't be doing much of first person, I just want to show it off. I think that applies to a lot of people. Like, there are so many NPCs that don't like waiting, but I make them wait anyway. Like, I remember it was, I think, level 70, not 79. Yeah, 79 MSQ or something like that. No, not 70. Was, I don't know. It was a level. And I was level, for MSQ, I had both Reaper and Black Mage, and neither of them were the level to continue on with the MSQ. So I was like, okay, I'll level them up, and I totally forgot about doing MSQ, so there was just Thancred just standing out in Amarang, just standing there, and I like to imagine that cobweb started to like form around him, like, even though there wasn't any in the game, of course. And when I clicked on the quest said, Thancred is tired of waiting around. And I was like, fair enough. This isn't suspicious at all from a story standpoint. I forgot to talk to Alpha Nod or Ally Nod. Name's hard right now. I'm just, are you Lena or Lina? I'm gonna be confused. Sounds like a lovely thing to happen. It totally doesn't sound like the tank roll quest line at all. I honestly have no recollection of you. Oh, that's a funky looking souvenir. I'd like it as a mount. I think would be a cool mount. Oh, this music.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
They probably decided to attack.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself. Certainly does no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, "Who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?" And he says, "No, I'm a warrior of light." And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light?
Well,
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be her, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
also, the voice of this guardsman does sound kind of familiar. Aw, the pretty Sin Eater disappeared.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today, but I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrade's deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Is this next part gonna be voiced? We'll find out.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with his salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
Oh, that's the salmon thing. Oh, thank you, game, for explaining that.
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
I think the Exarch had taken care of Lina at some point, if I remember correctly. But don't take my word for it.
Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Okay, and this is not voiced. Interesting. Ishgard vibes. Ishgard vibes. telling all the people may not end up going well. It never does. Let's just hope nobody gets shot with an arrow this time. Oh no, it's one of those quests where I have to speak to people. And they're located like all around the Castaria. What? This isn't annoying at all. Hello. I saw some like yellowish green glowing bits and I was afraid there was gonna be a solo instance. Oh, I see a bow back there. Hopefully nothing comes
Yes, this looks to
out
be
of
nearly
the bow
everyone.
being there.
Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
You telling the Silent Warrior of Light to go first.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
wicked white. The Warriors of Light did all that?
I mean, it's your fault for not doing your role quests.
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
And causing problems.
Impossible.
And problems have started.
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
I know your voice from somewhere.
That it should be the warrior of darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium, I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a warrior of light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when she must return to her home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
What? Us? Warriors of light?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure.
This is going to cause so many problems. Like, this dude has never gone to Heaven's Ward.
But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
from thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Well, if we're going by how this game usually goes, Asians like to use people as flesh puppets.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yep, it's probably a flesh puppet of an Asian.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not, which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
That he is an Asian.
Flesh puppet.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Asian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emmett Selk's failure here in the first, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen? My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
And of the living.
It is past time your flame was extinguished, bringer of light.
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while the Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Wasn't kind of hinted at that we were one ourselves? Because Emmett Silk recognized us as someone and was like, oh, it couldn't be them, and then he died. Isn't that lovely?
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
I mean, he is a warrior, so mitigation is his thing.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
'Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
Please don't make me do solo instance. Please don't make me do solo instance. Okay. Nice. No solo instance. Great. Nice. We're going to the Raktik and Greatwood to see the V's there. This will be lovely. I love them. Oh, all three of them are here. The V's here, I wish they were like more buff looking, considering that they're warriors that protect the land constantly. You know, it just would make sense, I think, but no. They still have Vieira model. I swear if I end up meeting the screen of, oh, this dungeon unlocked, like, bruh. I just want to do some quests and not have to do a dungeon yet, like, that would be pretty nice, I would think. Oh no. Okay, wait, is that the entrance to... Okay, it's Kitana Rattle, okay. Okay, Soul Instance time, let me just do that on a Reaper. just because I don't want to do it again. I'm gonna be honest. It's getting kind of late, in my opinion. So, I'll just leave this bit for the next time I decide to do the main story of this game.